Well, good evening to all of you. I'm delighted to welcome you. For those of you who do not know me, I'm Ruben Armiñana, and I'm the chief bottle washer of the university. For the bottle washers, I'm really delighted to welcome all of you to the Andrea Neves and Barton Evans Social Justice Lecture. This has been now, I think we are in the 7th or 8th year of this lecture, which brings to the generosity of Andrea and Bart a very distinguished speaker who always tends to challenge many of our ideas, concerns, and make us do what a university should do, which is think and ponder about some of the larger issues that confront our society. Andrea has been a faculty member here at Sonoma State for many years. She came when she was 11 years old, and she gets younger every year. Therefore, next year she'll be 9 when she started with us. And she has been, she was a professor in the School of Education. And throughout her distinguished career with us, she has always been very involved and concerned about the social issues of our society. Tonight, I think you're going to in for a very special night with a very engaging individual that you all recognize. He's on TV often. He's one of the leading social intellectuals in this country and the world. And on top of that, he can be a lot of fun. And I hope that you enjoy that. I now want to introduce you the person for whom this lecture series is named, at least half of that person, and that's Dr. Andrea Neves. Andrea.
Thank you, Ruben. First I want to recognize my second half because he usually doesn't get acknowledgement in these series. There have been 8 of them so far. We've been going on for 8 years now, but that's my husband, Barton Evans. Can you wave? Bart and I endowed this series a number of years ago because we believe in public education. We believe in the support of public education because that's what this nation was founded on, in the common school. And if we don't support public education, then we're really in trouble as a democracy. John Dewey, some of us know who he was, a famous philosopher, says democracy has to be born anew every generation, and public education is its midwife. And that's what we believe in. In this time of reduced finance for public education, if you will, we believe that we need to step forward and ensure that people like our present speaker and those in the past that we've had, if you look at your program, you can see all of them, come to public education to give talks. Sometimes alternative voice, sometimes mainstream voice. But we believe that it is extremely important for the common good because it is a mechanism for equal opportunity and hopefully at some point equity. There's been little money for speakers of this caliber and others listed on the back of the program. Because of the endowment and contributions from Campus Presents and others, we do have some donors that help us out. We get to bring you speakers like Cornel free to our students. And that's what's important, that is there's no cost to our students. And also at minimal cost to the community. Our endowment recognize that we need to bring our community on campus also to join with our students in questioning some of the basic ideas about our society. And so that's why we've endowed this program. That said, we've been going on for 8 years now, and one of the persons who's been with us these 8 years is the Dean of the School of Social Sciences, Elaine Leeder. Obviously, she enjoys a great deal of respect. And this is her last year as dean. So we hope to keep her on our community of social justice in the future. And hopefully you will join us also. Elaine will be introducing our speaker. Now, one other pitch from my part. If you feel that you would like to join us, as others have, in contributing to this very much important lecture series and program, there is an envelope. Some of you, I can see you looking at the envelope in your program. So we would hope that some of you would feel largesse, if you will, feel comfortable with contributing to this program, because it's much needed if we were to continue having speakers such as Cornel West. I'd like to thank President Armiñana for supporting us in all of this. I mean, he's been wonderful. And to thank Eric Dirksen for all of this, because this is our first opportunity to be in a completed, I always say this incorrectly, Weill, thank you, Weill Music Hall. So I please join me in applause for both President Armiñana and for Eric Dirksen and his staff for helping us in this first lecture for the completed Weill Concert Hall. I always mispronounce that name, I don't know why. But anyway, here she is, your Dean, Elaine Leeder.
Hi, thank you. That touches me. Because this is my last semester as dean, Andrea and I and the committee were talking about who should we bring, and because it's my last semester, I got to pick. And Cornel West is my very favorite public intellectual. I hang on his words. My students who are in this room know I kind of sing his praises in the classroom. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about him, but he will speak for himself because he is more than brilliant. He's charismatic, he's intelligent, he's attractive. I mean, I could just go on and on. So let me tell you about Cornel West, okay? He's a prominent and provocative democratic intellectual. He was the class of 1943 university professor at Princeton. He graduated magna cum laude from Harvard in 3 years. He obtained his MA and Ph.D. in philosophy at Princeton. He has taught recently at Union Theological Seminary, Yale, Harvard, and the University of Paris. He has written 19 books and edited 13 books. He's best known for his classic Race Matters, Democracy Matters, and his new memoir, Brother West, Living and Loving Out Loud. He appears frequently on The Bill Maher Show, The Colbert Report, CNN, C-SPAN, as well as his dear brother Tavis Smiley's PBS TV show. He can be heard weekly on Tavis Smiley's NPI radio show, and it's a highly acclaimed progressive program. The bulk of his work focuses on race, gender, and class. That's why I require it of my students. In American society, and the means by which people act and react to their radical conditionedness. West draws intellectual contributions from many, many sources, including the Black Church, Marxism, neo-pragmatism, and transcendentalism. West has called the United States a racist, patriarchal nation where white supremacy continues to define everyday life. White America, some of you agree, some of you probably are offended, but this is what he said. And I figure you should know who you're getting. White America, he writes, has been historically weak-willed in ensuring racial justice and has continued to resist fully accepting the humanity of blacks. This has resulted, he says, in the creation of many degraded and oppressed people hungry for identity, meaning, and self-worth. Professor West attributes most of the Black community's problems to an existential angst derived from the lived experience of the wounds and emotional scars inflicted by white supremacist beliefs and images perpetuated by the U.S. society and culture. Cornel West has a passion to communicate to a vast variety of publics in order to keep alive the legacy of Martin Luther King. A legacy of telling the truth, of bearing witness to love and justice. His words are very provocative, and they make many of us think in ways that have never been thought before. We may not always agree with him, but we respect and honor his brilliance, his charisma, and his deep commitment to social justice. It is appropriate that he speak to us in this Neves Evans Social Justice Lecture series as the last speaker that I will present as Dean. It is with great pleasure that I introduce one of the premier public intellectual greats of our country, Dr. Cornel West.
What a blessing to be back to Sonoma State University. How blessed I am. What a delight, what a joy. Indeed, indeed. Oh, look at those beautiful faces, all those sparkling eyes. And what can I say about my dear, dear, dear sister, Dean Elaine Leeder? I love you, I love you, I love you. This lecture is for you. All of those high qualities. Give it up for our sister. Give it up for our sister. All those years, all that love, all that service, all that learning, all that sacrifice, but sacrifice in the best sense because she found joy in every moment she was doing it. Not only here, she was in the prisons. She was wrestling with the humanity of our brothers locked up, incarcerated, but not necessarily incapacitated, but you can be free in a cell, just as you can be unfree in a classroom. Not talking about any students here, but I know what you're talking about. But I want to acknowledge as well, of course, the captain of the ship, our dear brother, the president, Brother Ruben Abanyana. Where is he? Where is he? There he is. Yes, give it up for our brother. Good. Now, all those years, what is it now going on now? 21 years. We had such a wonderful time in our dinner today. I want to acknowledge my dear brother Provost Andrew Rogers' son and his blessed wife Susan. Where are they? Where are they? Somewhere here on the left side. Yes, exactly. We got two Jews there. Brother Bailey. Where's Brother Bailey? Where is he? Where is he? Stand up, brother. Stand up. Give it up to this brother. It's a blessing to see you. Blessing to see you, though. Definitely. Who else did we have? Oh, we had Charles Bonner, who was a distinguished esquire. Stand up, brother. Give it up for him. Give it up for him and his blessed companion, his blessed wife, too. Yes, indeed, indeed. Yes, yes. Give it up for them. Dynamic duo they are. Then there was a young brother there. He's a graphic artist. He's a leader of Black Student Union. He's a philosopher. He's majoring in communication, but most importantly, he allows the love to flow from his heart, and he's still young and got a fro far better than mine. Brother Justin Bell. Justin Bell, give it up for Justin. And I tell you, I can go on and on. I've got my dear sister, Dr. Andrea Neves, who I would salute. I had such a wonderful conversation with you and Brother Barton Evans as well, facilitating our coming together. One last but not least hand for the two. Please, 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 please. Thank you so much. Thank you so very much. I have my brother from Sacramento. You all know I grew up right down the street, Sacramento, California. I grew up on the chocolate side of Sacramento. And Glen Ellen and moved to South Land Park Drive, but there's a Kenneth Jones here somewhere who grew up with me. Where's Brother Kenneth? There he is, the new general manager, East Palo Alto. He is my dear brother. 40 years we are together now, brother.